y'all. How you perking? I hope you're perking good. So, highly requested this video was. It's kind of a nerve-wracking video to think about doing, but this is what people have asked for, so today is the day. We're gonna look at basically the future of our country here if you're in the United States, and whether or not we're gonna become an oligarchy, basically. Things along those lines. That's what people have asked. That's what I'm gonna look into today, see what kind of answers that we can find out for everybody. So I am a licensed mental health clinician as well as a spiritual intuitive, and in these videos we do take a look at the tea with the tarot. Don't let that freak you out. Got a good track record here on the channel. I'm gonna go ahead and bring the cards up over here and move this microphone right here. Old Penelope, I had her match me in greens just so we could be doing something fun here because the topic of today is quite heavy, so just trying to do something to lighten the mood in any kind of way, shape, or form here. So got the cards ready to dive into this. Like I said, this is a tough one, but it is highly requested. Got a good track record here. Gonna go at this very honestly with pure intentions here, and all alleged just my interpretation. Just gotta throw that out there. Before I get shuffled up, I did pull up over here. I typed in definition of oligarchy because I just wanted to see what comes up, to make sure that whatever I'm asking here, that I am asking it in good faith, and that I am reading what I get here in good faith. So what it says over here, this is from Wikipedia, which I guess it's good enough for a definition, right? Oligarchy is a form of government in which power rests with a small number of people. These people may or may not be distinguished by one of several characteristics, such as nobility, fame, wealth, education, or corporate, religious, or political, or military control. Throughout history, power structures considered to be oligarchies have been viewed as coercive, relying on public obedience or oppression to exist. So, I'm sure there are people that are incredibly familiar with this topic area. I myself have never deep dived into oligarchies. I've never studied it or anything like that. I'm just reading the cards, just a girl reading cards here. This is just all alleged my interpretation. And as I've said a million times before, but I feel like it bears repeating for the subject matter here. One, I view myself as an independent. I did not vote R or D this past time, even though I did vote, because neither of the two candidates I felt were the best fit. I voted my conscience. That's what I did. You may take issue with that. You may understand that. Whatever it is, I respect what you did, how you voted. So please give respect to me and what I did and how I voted and my reasons why. We don't always have to understand each other or agree. We just respect where it's at. But that being said, I don't have some sort of leaning where I'm hoping the cards say, good things or bad things about Trump and his administration or the future of the United States after Trump or whatever. I'm not one of those people looking to be confirmed in what I already believe or something like that. So just putting that out there. Second thing, at the time of filming this, in case it becomes relevant or important, it is, if you can see that, Wednesday, March 5th. It's kind of faint there, but 5:41, Wednesday, March 5th. So, without further ado, I think we've done all the disclaimers. Gotta do disclaimers. I know people hate disclaimers, but on videos like these, if you don't do disclaimers, shit gets ugly real fast. Real fast. People will come in trying to crucify you with nails and hammers and everything all up in the comments, and We don't roll like that here, okay? We express whatever we need to express, say what we've got to say, get things off of our chest, but we find a way to do it with respect to each other in the comments, with respect to the people that we're talking about, with respect to the reading and myself. So let's make sure we continue to do that. So far, so good. Let's keep on keeping on with it. All right, spirit guides. Deep breath together. First and foremost, is the United States going to become an oligarchy? We're just going to ask the question straight up, right out. Just going to go ahead and ask and see what it ends up saying. And my heavens, if this thing could just get a little bit, whatever. Camera's a little bit crooked. Something must have knocked it. I'm just gonna keep going. So, alrighty. Here's where we are with the first pool here. If there's anything that we notice right off the bat, it's that every single card here has come up in reverse, which is not inherently a terrible thing. Some cards are better read in their reverse position, but it is interesting, to say the least, that that's where we're starting. So let me just dig into what we're seeing here. I'm treading carefully and cautiously, y'all. Just a girl reading cards. Don't shoot the messenger. Knight of Pentacles in reverse, Hermit card in reverse, Judgment card in reverse. This is showing something that is a long, slow, and steady, getting our ducks in a row type of trajectory. Something that is very deep and very into it, like deep-rooted, deep-seated. Judgment card in reverse, so lack of good judgment and confusion. Then Two of Pentacles, and I'm going to say what I'm thinking this means, but I just got to get all of these out first, because this is a really kind of a thing to start out on. This is a wild, like, first 10 minutes of a video. I'm sorry. Two of Pentacles in reverse, Queen of Cups in reverse, Ace of Pentacles in reverse. This is like no sign of it changing soon. I understand that things don't feel good in an emotional sense, and we're going to see things in a physical sense too. So what this looks like is that we're basically already on this trajectory. Like, we're already on the path. So the whole, like, is it going to become this? It looks like it kind of already has. And let me explain. How do y'all want to explain this? Y'all determine how y'all want to explain this, how y'all want to deliver this. So what they're showing here is, again, this is something that has been kind of in the dark for a long time, so people haven't been fighting it for a long time. When they're saying a long time, to be fair here, you know, to the current President Trump, he hasn't been in office a long time for this current term. So if they're saying this kind of build up in the dark for a long time, it looks like they're meaning beyond just this recent term. It looks like they mean that things have been kind of slowly building in this direction for before his second term. In terms of what I'm getting here, yeah, the Fool card in reverse is just kind of an acknowledgement that this is serious, that it's, you know, not something that we're discussing here lightly, that we're taking this seriously. Nine of Pentacles upright and High Priestess upright. Okay, so with these two cards, this, I feel like what they're trying to do right now is to try to put a pause on where we are, because it's probably that how I'm delivering this, there might be people that are feeling some type of way. Either people are feeling freaked out about it, pissed off about it, you know, any number of negative emotions. And so what they're trying to bring up here with this Nine of Pentacles upright and High Priestess card upright, both of which are positive cards. This is a positive card in kind of an earthly matters way because it's a Pentacles card. This is a positive card in beyond earthly matters kind of way. High Priestess is beyond the veil. And so what I'm seeing with this is that we have a that this doesn't look like damning and dooming and like, you know, oh no, the sky's falling, everything is over, you know, let's fall into a pit of despair about this. Like, they're not trying to pitch it this way. They're trying to kind of help lighten things right here, to say just because things have been on this trajectory for a while doesn't mean everything has to like be terrible or end terribly, or, you know, sign our fate in this very tragic way for our future. It doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be like that. Basically, in what I'm interpreting here is that in many societies, things have gone off the rails before. Not always has that ended up in the worst thing ever imaginable. You know, societies have gone off the rails and then have figured that out, sorted things out, and gotten back in line before. Societies have even gone through, if we're going to go to worst case, okay, societies have gone through times where they've crashed or they've screwed everything up or whatever, and they have rebuilt from that. You know, there are nothing is set in stone. Things aren't stuck where they land. Things are always rebuildable, fixable, start overable, whatever you want to call it. You know, change is constant and energy is very mutable. So they're trying to put a positive here so that people don't, you know, get into some kind of weird feelings of like shock and fear and shut down with where we've started with this. So let's dig in a little bit more. I'm going to pull these up and I'm going to reshuffle them, and we're just going to get some more context to see what else can we know, should we know about this that we need to know or that can be beneficial or helpful for us. As I am shuffling up here, just mentioning to everybody, we do have the channel membership, the Perk Squad, if anybody is interested. So lots of different perks there. If you click the join button, it'll tell you all about it. But also there are weekly forecasts for people who would like to get a heads up on what's happening every single week before it comes. So that is something that's not listed on there because I ran out of space. They only let me list 5 perks, and there's more perks to the Perk Squad than just that. So all of that is there, one of which video shout outs. So shout out to you, Cliff M, and thank you for being a member of the Perk Squad. Happy to have you over there with us. So shout out to you, Cliff M. All right, so got sufficiently shuffled here. Are there dogs back there? Yes, there are. When did they... What in the hell, man? Okay, double yawns. Yo. All right, y'all, fine. That scooter over here closest to my earring, the brown one, dark brown one that's spinning around right now, and then Teddy in the middle, the fluffy fuck. Yes, he's licking the couch. Yeah, okay. Not even gonna bother yelling about it. Just take a nap. I think that they're coming in here for some levity and release and relief as well, because I think the guides are trying to help people keep calm and not freak out. So Okay, what I'm going to ask here is, what should we know about this? What do we need to know about this? Y'all are giving us some, hefty information here today. And so what are we meant to do with this information? How do we need to use this? What are we supposed to do with this? So, okay, here's this information, now what? Kind of thing. So let's just take a peek as he digs back there. Okay. Go ahead and dig. I'll just keep pulling cards while you dig. Okay. He's just making a spot, tearing up my pillows. You finished? No. Okay. You finished now? Okay. Fine. All right. So, what they're showing here, we've got a mixed bag of things that they're presenting here. So, how they're showing this is they're basically like, in this situation, we are kind of represented here by this Empress card caught between these two reversed cups card, the reverse Page of Cups and the reverse Six of Cups. So this is to say, here we are, standing our ground, having the ability to, plant these seeds that we want to manifest and turn into something productive and good for our societies. We're here with good intentions, most of us, and so this is a very positive card about our intentions, about what we're putting out there, about our ability to manifest, our ability to cultivate something good, something that we want in a society. And these two cards here kind of coming up in reverse around it is to be mindful of kind of what we're working with. The Page of Cups is actually a very kind of immature type of energy, and the Six of Cups in reverse here, again, both of these in reverse, is kind of not wanting to give energy, more of a take energy. So they're kind of being like, what you're working with here. You're working in a society, and again, they were saying that this has been kind of slow rolling for a long time now. So currently with Trump's administration, before Trump's administration, I don't even know how far back. I don't know if we're talking several presidents back or even further than that. Could be something that we ask here, but that we, in all those ways, have been kind of in the midst of immature people, as in people that don't have as good of intentions and things like that. Immature people who aren't wanting to have that spirit of giving. It's like, if I have something, I want to keep what I have. I don't really want to sharing and caring and stuff. I just want to be able to keep what I have. And so it looks like they're just kind of trying to tell us, that's what we're in the middle of. That's what we've been in the middle of. And, we can just recognize that that's what's to the left and to the right of us. And, just acknowledge it and it kind of accept that that's what is. At the same time, King of Pentacles upright, Seven of Wands in reverse, World card upright. They're showing that even if we've got this kind of King of Pentacles card coming up of like those in power who have, a lot of wealth, a lot of influence and power, things like that, and it feels like we're the little Seven of Wands here, where we're like, oh, we're the little guy and we're in reverse and we can't stand up to that. But they're showing like this is about the entire world here. This is about more than just us here in the United States, and that it's just us, like there's nothing else going on, no one else, they're like, this doesn't happen in a vacuum, basically, is what they're saying here, from what I'm interpreting. That they're being like, anytime in the past, if there have been societies that have gone towards I guess, an oligarchy type of structure, it was different times. Maybe there's similar things that happen. Maybe there's similar types of people. There might be some similarities there, but there were different times, and we weren't all connected as a world as we are now. With the world card coming up right, this is like, through the internet and things like that, we are much more connected than we were before. It used to be that maybe we only knew people within our own little towns, and there weren't that many of us. But then now it's like, here we are all connected. I have viewers from all over the world, checking in, and so we have more, I guess, as a collective, we feel more like a world collective rather than a local community collective. And so we have more numbers and more power inherently in that than maybe in previous times in the past where these kinds of things are happening. And so it's just showing here, from what I can tell, that something that they're wanting us to take away relative to this is, yes, there are some patterns in place that are on that kind of oligarchical trend, if that's a word, and that, yes, this has been something that's been building here for a very long time, I guess I'll look for how long, but it seems that they're wanting us to take away that doesn't mean that we're without power, and it doesn't mean that we can't plant some better seeds in our society to try to have that grow, and it doesn't mean that we are alone in this, that we can kind of leverage our collective relationships, and that there are still paths forward. There are still ways to get to a different place than a place that we're not satisfied with. So I'm seeing a lot of hope and promise in this. It sounded like they started this reading out just being like, okay, I'm gonna give you the honest truth. Here you go. Let me throw that out there. And it was just like, too honest truth, too honest. But then now they're bringing in here being like, hold on, slow your horses before you freak out. Know these things. So this is helpful. I do keep bringing up that timing thing. So I do want to look into that real quick about like how long has it been trending in this kind of oligarchy direction, I guess. Just to get a sense of that. And with tarot, timelines are, you got to kind of give or take a little bit of time, where it's not ever going to be specific and be like, it's been happening for, 7.5 years or something like that. It's going to be a range, kind of a give or take range. So we'll go with that. We'll see what we have here. So as I'm shuffling up to get that timing, just putting it out there, BeasTalksAndTarot.com. If you want to book a private reading with me, 15-minute, 30-minute, 45-minute, book a private reading with me, then BeasTalksAndTarot.com. You can go there. I also have Reiki Energy healing for anybody wanting a energetic tune-up, healing and cleansing and clearing and unblocking and all of that. I also have intuitive healing sessions for anybody that wants to kind of de-stress, soundboard, kind of get some help to let go of things from the past and really move forward and kind of get where you want to be in life. And I also have tarot tutoring for people who would like to learn how to read the cards the way I read the cards. So all of that there on BeasTalksAndTarot.com. Okay. So what, if anything, are we allowed to know, spirit guides, about the timeline relative to this, in terms of how long this has kind of been building or growing or whatever here? And I'm just gonna get, a couple of things here. Okay, so interestingly, we have a 9 of Wands here in reverse, Page of Pentacles upright, and a 4 of Swords upright. If I'm going to be somewhat literal here, and, again, taking tarot timelines with a grain of salt. I think it's, ethical for me to mention that again. If I'm going to be literal here, the number cards sticking out is like 94. So somewhere, give or take, like 94 years ish that this has been kind of building. Who was, honestly, am I even able to look this up? Who was the president of the United States 94 years ago? I wonder if it will tell me that, or do I have to calculate when 94 years ago was? Yes, I have to calculate. Okay, 2025 is where we are right now. Minus 94. So 1931. So who was the president of let's see. In 1931. Was that, let's see, 1931. Was that Roosevelt back then? 1931. Come on now. No. Herbert Hoover. Okay. So yeah. Herbert Hoover was the president serving from 29 to 33. So, interesting. Okay, so again, give or take, somewhere around then is when things were probably in this kind of starting in this oligarchy type of direction, somewhere around then. So give or take. It could have been whoever, around the time of whoever preceded him or whoever came after him where this stuff started kind of building, but they're bringing up somewhere around that timeline. So again, take tarot with a grain of salt around timelines, but when they're saying, how long ago, this isn't like how long ago as in when Trump got in office or when Biden got in office or when Obama got in office. This is how long ago as in before a lot of us were born. Okay? Before many of us were born. So that's what we're talking about, how long ago. This is a considerable, significant chunk of time, what we're looking at here in terms of the beginnings. Again, Page of Pentacles here. This is kind of beginnings. This is where things are kind of really starting out in that direction or something. So that's what I'm seeing here. So that is a very interesting thing that I mean, wow, okay. This is just a lot of information to take in. Honestly, this is just a lot of information to take in. Let's see. I'll ask one more thing, and that is basically to know, okay, so in terms of where we're headed in the relatively near future, so I will say in 10 years or less, in terms of where we, the world, the United States and the world, where we are headed relative to this discussion, within the next 10 years or so, 10 years or less, just to kind of take a peek as to if we see this direction trending better or worse. We already saw that they gave us some hopeful cards about kind of how things can end up eventually, but in less than 10 years, are we going to see things getting in that better direction, or is that too soon? Are we going to see things continue to get a little bit, more challenging in this respect, a little bit more in the kind of oligarchy type of vein, and then it changes later? So let's just kind of have that type of idea here of what we're looking at with that, kind of what to expect in that regard. So, okay. Sorry, y'all, with the first card that jumped out there. Hey, love, this is better. This is a good card considering, this is a throwback to the good stuff that we were seeing earlier. Okay, it's a throwback to the good stuff we were seeing earlier. Okay, so notice in this case, instead of reading it like this, notice that it's reading it like this, this, this. This seems to be a bit of a, I guess what we're going to refer to it as, is like a bit of a 3-step thing. And I don't know that this is any kind of linear step. Maybe it is. I don't know if this is any kind of exact steps that will be very clearly demarcated by a beginning and an end. I don't know. We're just reading what we're seeing here, okay? Just saying what I'm seeing. I'll let you just my interpretation, okay? Is that we will kind of be in a bit of a tower moment where things seem to be kind of going all over the place. We could currently be in the tower moment where things are changing. The tower is big change. Some people right now think that the changes that are going on are terrifying. Some people right now think that the changes that are going on are exciting. There are people that think on different ends of the spectrum. I get that. But what we can all agree on is there's a lot of change happening right now here in the United States and in a lot of places around the world. So this is showing that we're in a time of great changes, these big changes, okay? With the 7 of Wands in reverse, kind of showcasing that we are feeling like, oh, it's happening to me, you know, there's nothing that I can do, I'm not in the driver's seat here, you know, I feel disempowered. And so it looks like this is probably somewhere around where we are / have been with a lot of these big changes going on. Over here, this next step is like things looking like they're going a bit worse. I see this kind of like going into even choppier water. So this is a worsening in the next stage. However, with the worsening, we do see a rise of this Knight of Cups energy. The Knight of Cups energy is a positive energy because this is where you have some brave people with a lot of integrity willing to step up and step out to try to help. And so as things get progressively worse, there will be more people feeling called to step up and step out for the positive, which will be a good thing. That's a thing that makes people feel hopeful. That's a thing that makes people feel like, oh, thank goodness, there's somebody giving a voice for us, somebody fighting for us, you know, somebody out there trying to help. It feels a lot less like, oh, I'm stuck and nobody's gonna do anything. You know, it feels better than that. So even with this worsening, I see this positive here that is kind of trying to combat this. So you know how they say the whole equal and opposite reaction, for every reaction there's, or for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. That's kind of what this is saying. For things that happen that try to take things in a worse direction, there will be the equal and opposite reaction of these people feeling called to come and try to swing the pendulum in the opposite direction. Like, okay, you're going to push me this way, I'm going to push you back this way, and we're going to do like this. So they're showing me that type of energy here. So again, some sort of, you know, mitigating or compensating factors that are trying to help any kind of, you know, not so great directions that things could be rolling in. And again, the eventual result here, we see Empress card and Lover's card here, both of them upright. Again, this is planting seeds and this is partnering, being more collaborative. So this is very like collective and collaborative and, you know, healthy partnerships, planning things in a positive way. This looks good right here. And I asked, again, give or take a 10-year period. I said 10 years or less is when I asked. So my hope is that the latest that this would happen would be at the end of the decade. Again, giving the disclaimer of what I just told everyone about tarot timelines. It's give or take. Y'all see me all the time show the day and time on the phone. Oh, whoops. I have a reminder coming up. Okay, showing the day and time on the phone, that I do that because things will pop off earlier than I see them in here. You know, things kind of sometimes come up earlier, or there's sometimes where things happen a little bit later than I saw them. So tarot will do that. It's picking up on energies, and timelines are not exactly a thing beyond the veil. So trying to squeeze out exact timeline information here is a little bit tricky. So again, give or take somewhere in the decade or at the end of the decade or whatever, I see these positives here where things start to shift. I will say with the Empress card, again, about planting seeds. I've said this before on other videos, that when we're talking about planting seeds, if you were to plant an apple seed right now and it were to grow, you still might not be able to eat any apples off of the tree for years. It would take time for the tree to grow and mature enough to produce fruit for you to be able to then pick and eat. So just because I'm seeing this doesn't necessarily mean everything is all perfect and back to normal and we're all like, you know, having this great, wonderful society and it's like a well-oiled machine. It may not be like that yet. It may just be, hey, the seeds are planted. We're on the same page about the directions that we need to go, or at least mostly on the same page about the directions we need to go. And there's a lot of energy getting put towards that direction such that it can be what develops into the normal, the collective, the experience that we'll all have. And so I see those building blocks, those foundations in place probably within a decade or so. And again, I take the timelines, grain of salt. I got to say it over and over and over. But it may not be like working perfectly like a well-oiled machine by then. It might be the beginnings of it. And so just putting that out there. But this is a lot. I mean, they've said a lot. They've put a lot out there. I know that some of this information is anxiety producing to a lot of people, and that's why they've pitched it in this way, tried to deliver it in this manner so that we can see things from all different kind of angles, so that we can take the good with the bad with the good, so that we can have, you know, an accurate and healthy depiction of what this is. It does us no good to only look at the cards and try to be like, oh, what's the most perfect thing that I can see in the cards? Everything's going to be lovely and positive and okay and nah. Sometimes when people see my readings, they're like, damn, you're too negative. And it's like, do you want me to be fake positive and lie and say, actually, these cards look like love and light and everything good? And then everybody's like, well, then why does my experience of living right now suck ass? Why do prices, you know, why are prices so high that I can barely afford to feed my family? Why is this, that, and the other? Like, I cannot, you know, I don't understand. Like, that's what we're not going to do here. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do toxic positivity here. I'm also not going to do like, oh, let's do sensational alarmist stuff so that I can, you know, scare everybody into, you know, believing 80,000 untrue conspiracies, or into like being so scared and say, well, I'm the one with all the answers. So everyone, you know, book readings with me because you'll never get answers through anyone else but me. Give me your money. You know, like, I'm not going to do that either, like other people might do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask the guides and just show up here in good faith and say what I see, and hope that my track record continues to be as accurate as it's been thus far. You know, that's all I can do is just show up and try my best, and hope that I'm doing right by what I'm tasked with here to do by the guides. You know, just trying. And again, I'll alleged just my interpretation. So I think here that they've tried to deliver a healthy balance, to be like, hey, I'm going to be honest with you. This is what we're looking at. However, I'm also going to be honest with you that I don't want you to, you know, fear porn and spiral out where you know, don't see the positives. I don't want you to filter the positives out. Like, look at some of the things that are going to come from this, that could be, you know, a good look, more comforting. And so I think that they've delivered a bit of a mixed bag here in those respects. And you know, I'm hoping that you can take this information in the spirit in which I'm trying to give it to y'all. So sorry for all the disclaimers today. I know people get annoyed at disclaimers, but if you were sitting here in my seat and in my shoes, and you know, getting the comments and the emails and the private messages and all the stuff that I get, I think you would understand why some videos I just have to disclaim the hell out of them. Just got to do my due diligence on my end. So, anywho, y'all, I'm going to put a B-roll at the end of this as usual. So, for those of you who may not know, you know, videos of... Well, I can't point. Which way is it? It's opposite here. Videos of the dogs. Videos of the puppies and like puppy shenanigans and stuff like that. I always end videos with silly little lighthearted video snips, you know, like a minute or two of fun little stuff, so that heavy videos can end lightheartedly, because that is important. If people are feeling a little bit like, this was a lot, then, you know, take the time to watch those, breathe, you know, loosen up, lighten up, shake off the reading, and get yourself to a good space before you jump into whatever you're going to handle next in your day. So take care of yourself with that. Allow yourself the permission to watch those if they help you to feel better. A lot of people in the comments say they do help them, so just like to offer that to everybody. And I reckon we'll touch base real soon with another video shortly. I don't know when this one will get up, but like I said, it is Wednesday, March 5th at the time of filming this. So hopefully we'll get the video up today or tomorrow, and we'll see what else we're going to take a peek into next time. So don't be a stranger. Come back and see me? Yeah. Forgetting my phrases. Don't be a stranger. Come back and see me, and I will talk at you later. Believe me. Believe me. Bye, y'all.
The buzzer go crazy.
Oh, gosh.
I haven't even, like...
He hasn't even bit into it yet. You and apples, girl. It's like she has a sixth sense about you getting apples out the fridge. She can tell.
He's frozen.
She has a sixth sense about you getting apples out the fridge. Yeah, she did it like so fast. She's like scoot, 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 scoot across the floor. God, girl.
Hurry.
Jeez Louise.
Easy. Calm down.
Izzy, my gosh. She really does have a sixth sense about you pulling apples out the fridge. She knows when it's an apple.
Mm-hmm.
She comes running in here out of God knows where.
Mm-mm.
Girl.
No. Mm-mm. Hey. A little hot.
She does. She condenses herself into such a small little space. Golly.
No more. It was nothing. Just two. That's it.
God. Girl.
It was just...